Okay, good afternoon, students. Right, we'll start today's lecture. So, my plan is like this. Until last time, that means until um, December 2024, there are two lectures. They are usually doing the class for commercial law 1 in the law college, right? Com 1 was done by the two lecturer. The first lecturer covered the company areas, and the second lecturer has covered the agency, insurance, and partnership areas. Right? Now, I hope most of you are well aware that now there is no two lecturers. Hi, so, Bani, now just now we have started. We didn't covered uh, much. We have just started, right? So what I'm telling is, before 2025, before January 2025, there were two lecturers who are used to do commercial law 1. The first lecturer would cover every aspect of company, and the second lecturer would cover agency, insurance, and partnership. But in January 2025, almost all of you are aware that most of the lecturers, the all lecturers in the law college were resigned, and they were actually not there. So that means your question paper and everything would be based on the lecturers who are teaching now, right? You don't want to refer to the notes that was given previously. You should have to update it. You should have to familiarize with the new lecturer who is doing the lectures now. Don't worry, I will give the updated note, right? So far when it comes to the commercial law 1, the agency, insurance, and partnership areas was done by Chanakadi Silva sir, and he is not changed. So I'm giving a one tips, right? When you are studying or when you are preparing the notes, don't deviate from the law college notes, right? So here what the notes that I provided is actually law college note, but when it comes to the answers and everything, I will give the answers of mine and what is actually expecting from the law college, right? I will give that, right? Don't worry. So, having said that, I wanted to emphasize the importance of the today lecture, right? Today is our very first class. For the last batch, I have started with the company law because in company there will be a 5 question, right? But the thing is, the Chanaka sir is not still started the company lectures, right? So we don't know what are the areas that he would give a due recognition when he conducting the class. But he is covering agency, insurance, and partnership now. So so therefore, I thought of starting those lessons. Even if you study agency, insurance, and partnership only, actually you can do 4 question, right? Actually you can do 4 question. There is no doubt on that, right? So what I'm supposed to do is basically insurance. You can see these notes that I have shared with you all, and this insurance note only has 12 pages, right? Only it has 12 pages. See, only 12 pages. If you study these 12 pages very clearly, you can actually score 16 marks. 12 pages, 16 marks. See, one of the good area that you can really score marks. Why? It has only 12 pages, but how many marks that you can score is actually 16 marks, right? So listen carefully when I'm doing the lectures. If you didn't understand, you can raise the question. Even you can contact me personally. That's no problem because you all are came to my class. I would encourage if you are doing the past paper and share with me the answer. I will correct the answer and I will share to you, right? If you made the mistake, I can point out. From today onwards, study whatever that I'm teaching you, right? Don't wait until the last moment. Now you know why this principle of insurance is important. Why? Because you will get the question, one question from this insurance part, and that question is actually for 16 marks. You can actually get 16 marks very easily, right? There is no problem on that. Now let's study insurance, right? Before I go and teach insurance and everything, now I'm going to give you a very small example. I hope everyone know what is insurance mean. But I will give a very simple example as to insurance, right? Let's say now Maneka has a house, right? Has a house in Vellavath, right? Vellavath. This is an example. Huh? In Vellavath, Maneka having a house. Now, something can happen to her house. No, sometimes let's say there are lot of flood or fire. Likewise, sometimes some damages can cause to house. Damages can cause to house. So, if something happens to the house of Maneka would really feel bad because she would suffer a loss. To avoid that, even though she suffers the loss, to rectify or to indemnify those loss, she can insure. So what would happen when she insure? Let's say her house got some damages, but let's say she has insured it for 2 crores. Now insurance company should have to indemnify her loss. So in that sense, the Maneka can actually rectify the damage. Right? This is what the benefit of insurance, and this is what the simple understanding of insurance, right? I hope all of you have understood this, but after that, I also have certain other things to be highlighted. So, in an insurance, there are two parties. Who are those parties? Right? In an insurance, basically there are two parties are there. First party is the insurer. So these are basic. Before I go to subject, in each and every class, first of all, I would give you a basic, and thereafter I will go to the subject. If I directly jump to the subject, you may not be understand. So there are two persons. One person is a insurer and the second party is what we call as the insured. Also, we can call the insured as a assured also. There is no problem. Who is the insurer? Right? Uh, who is the insurer is, right? This insurer can we call them as an insurance company. So when you have to insure something, you will insure with certain insurance company, no? So for those insurance company, we will call them as a insurer. For them, we will call as a insurer. The insurer can also be known as a underwriter, right? So underwriter. There are another name for the insurer, that is underwriter. So basically, insurer means insurance company. Who is the insured then? Insured means this is a person who, right, who buys the insurance policy. Let's say who buys the insurance policy. Let's say, now I am going to give an example. Let's say Maneka, right, insuring her house with the uh, alliance company. Now tell me, who is a insurer, who is a insured? If you unmute and if you can tell, that's good, right? No one is going to laugh if you actually made mistake. If you have lack of confidence, that's okay. You can make me the personal message. That's completely okay, right? You can even make me the personal message. That okay. So I will repeat the question. Now, Maneka wants to insure her house with the alliance company. Now, Maneka is a one who wants to insure. So, in this line, who is a insurer? Who is a insured? Now, my question is, in my particular scenario, who is a insurer, who is a insured? Even though you make the wrong answer, I'm not going to laugh and I'm not going to mention your name. You can even put me the personal message or direct message, right, in the chat. That's okay. Who is a insurer, who is a insured? Because these are the simple thing that you have to understand before I start the class. That's why. Who is the insurer? Who is the insured? Can anyone tell me the answer?
Hello.
Students, you don't want to get fear towards me. I'm very friendly, right?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello. Can you hear me, madam?
yes, yes.
So the insurer is Alliance Company and the insured is Maneka.
Very good. Very good. Siva Sambhavi. Your full name is Siva Sambhavi or Sambhavi?
My full name is Siva Sampavi, but you can call me Sampavi, madam. That's okay.
Okay, Sambhavi. Very good. Yes, you understood the concept, right? Very good. Yes, that's the understanding. The insurer is basically the insurance company. Here it is the alliance company. And the insured is the one who wants to insure. That's Maneka. So the Maneka is the insured, right? So now you understood basic concept, right? If you have doubt or if you couldn't understand certain point, you can ask me, right? It's the best place to make a mistake. It's the best place to learn, right? After today's class, I mean, when I'm finishing the class, we will do the past paper, at least one paper, right? Relating to the insurance question. I will guide you properly, but what you are supposed to do is you have to study. You cannot wait until the last moment to study, right? Okay. principle of insurance. Now we will go to the subject, the definition of insurance. So before we go to study insurance, first of all we have to understand what is meant by insurance. First of all, we have to understand what is meant by insurance. So actually, there is no exhaustive definition or comprehensive definition to the term insurance or contract of insurance in any act. So that means there is no act which comprehensively define insurance. So basically, you can't find any comprehensive or exhaustive definition to the term insurance in any of the act. Now you know, when the act doesn't provide any comprehensive definition, then we have to refer to case law to find the definition. Yes. So basically, there is no statutory act which provide comprehensive definition to insurance. Since there is no act for that, we have to go to case law to find the definition of insurance. In this regard, Prudential Insurance Company versus IRC. In this regard, Prudential Insurance Company versus IRC. Very important case, students, you have to study, right? This case provide the definition of the term insurance. This case says what are the essential elements that should be present in the insurance contract. So this case says if the insurance contract has certain essential elements only, you can say that yes, that is a contract of insurance. So now we will see what are those essential elements. Look very carefully, listen very carefully, because after I explain today's session, I'm going to place the past paper question, right? I will ask the question from you as to how you write the answer for that question. We'll see who is giving a correct answer. Don't reluctant to give the answer, students, right? Because if you started to give the answer in the class, you will be listening the lectures very carefully or class carefully, and once you go to home, you don't want to hear the recordings again, you can prepare the answer based on that, right? So the first case is Prudential Insurance Company versus IRC. Now this case, what happened in this case is, right, there is a person, right? In this case, I'm going to tell you the fact, right? In this case, what happened is there is a person, right? That person enter into a contract with the company, right? Here you can read the fact. I'm not going to read the fact as it is. If I state so, you can't understand. That's why, right? What happened in this case is there is a person, right? This person is actually entered into a contract, entered into a contract with the company, right? With the company. This person entered into a contract with the company, right? So this person says, right? Okay, I will pay particular amount periodically, right? He says, okay, there is a person, let's say, for an example, this person is X. For your easy understanding, let's say this person is X. So now this X enter into a contract with the company and he says, okay, I will pay the amount periodically to your company until my death. He says, until my death, right? Or until I reach, there's a spelling mistake. It should be gone, right? Or until I reach 65 years, whichever occurs earlier. That means sometimes he can die before 65. Sometimes he can live after 65 also. No, that's possible. No, he says, the person called X says, okay, I will make the payment periodically until my death or until I reach 65 years, but whichever occurs earlier. This may occur earlier or this may occurs earlier, but whatever occurs earlier, until that I will make the payment periodically. Company says, okay, Mr. X, you can do so if you die before 65 years. Company says, okay, you can do so, but if you dies before 65, right, your estate, that means your heirs would receive 30 pounds. Further, the company says, okay, but if you lived up to 65 years, up to 65 years, you will receive 95 pounds. You will receive 95 pounds. Right? So likewise, company says. Now there is a question. What is the nature of this contract? Now the question arises as to what is the nature of the contract, right? What is the nature of the contract? We have to actually understand the nature of the contract. So, what happened in the prudential case was that there is a person, he enters into the contract with the company, and when he entering the contract with the company, he says, okay, I will make the payment periodically until my death or until 65 years, whichever occurs earlier. In return, company says, okay, mister, you can do so, but if you dies before this 65, your estate would receive 30 pounds. But if you lived up to 65 years, you would receive 95 pounds. Now there is an issue. What is the issue is that they was thinking that what is the nature of the contract, because it says there will be a payment to be made even if the person lived, no. So there was a question as to what is the nature of the contract, right? So this, of course, right, when you get ratio density like this, you can read through. You don't want to memorize this. This particular thing was actually summarized here, right? So it's a canal justice, he says. So this is a contract of insurance. He says this nature is contract of insurance. However, to satisfy you this as a contract of insurance, it should have a certain elements. Students, please look that it's not a my note, I have already told. It's a law college notes. I am giving my note when I'm not going to give my note because you can't actually deviate from the law college note. But I will give the answers for the past paper questions. So if there is no notes for certain aspects, I will give the notes, right? You don't worry, for all subject you will get the note, right? So the contract of insurance actually have to have certain elements, but it was mentioned as a three, but it's not actually three, it's a four. Right? See, one, A, B, C, D. So actually four, right? He also mentioned that in the class to correct three as a four, right? So contract of insurance should have to have actually four elements. Now you know who is a insured. Insured means what? The person who buys insurance policy. For that person, we can call him as also the policy holder as well. So there in a, if you take insurance contract, right? If you take the insurance contract, definitely there should be a policy holder. Definitely there should be a policy holder. Now by this time you know who is a policy holder. Policy holder means the one who affects insurance, the one who buys the insurance. For them, how we are calling? We are calling them as a policy holder. Now, this insurance contract have to have certain elements. The first element is definitely there should be a policy holder, and that policy holder should make the payment either one or more payments. Sometimes students, what happens is in insurance they will make a one shot payment. Sometimes they will, like the installment, they will pay half and thereafter half likewise also can happen. So however, in the insurance contract there should be a policy holder should make the one or more payment. This is the first element. The policy holder should have to make one or more payment. Okay, that's the first link. What is the second element? In return for that, in return of it, right? We have to understand in return. The other party means, now insurer. Now you know who is insurer. Insurer means it's a insurance company. Now this insurance company should have to say, okay, okay, policy holder, you make the payment to us. You will have some benefit, right? They would say you will have some benefit which is usually but not necessarily. Understand, that's usually but not in all case. It's a sum of money on the happening of an event. So that means, right? So first limb says there should be a policy holder. He should have to make one or more payment. The second limb says there should be a insurer. He have to say that, okay, you made the payment to us, therefore you will have some benefit. If something happens, you will get the money. So let's say now Abhirami made the insurance contract. Now Abhirami died. So insurance company says, okay, if you died, see, on the happening of an event, that's an event, right? If you die, we will pay a money. No issue. We will pay a money. See, sum of money. But not in all the circumstances they will not pay money. In certain circumstances, they will confer other benefit also. Don't worry, I will explain you what is the other benefit. But for now, understand that other party should have to confer certain benefit if certain event was happen. Now the third limb is that particular event should have to have some kind of uncertainty. So that particular event should have to have some uncertainty. Like, I don't know when I'm dying, right? I don't know when my car got destroyed. So those events are uncertainty. For those uncertainty event, of course, what you can do is you can actually insure, right? That's the third limb. So the first limb is there should be a policy holder. That policy holder should have to make one or more payment. The second limb is the insurer, that's the insurance company have to say, okay, we will confer some benefits to you, which is usually but not necessarily to pay sum of money on happening of certain event. The third limb is that particular event should have to have some kind of uncertainty, right? That event should have to have some kind of uncertainty. Now, you know what is uncertainty? It's like I don't know whether when I would die. I don't know when my car got destroyed. I don't know when my house got destroyed. For those things we can insure. That's the third. Fourth one is the event must be one which is adverse to the interest of the policyholder. That means insurable interest. Don't worry, each and every time most of the past paper you can find the question relating to the insurable interest in most of the past paper, right? In most of the past paper you can find the question relating to the insurable interest. Don't worry, the insurable interest note is big, right? I will take you all through when I'm doing insurable interest. See, this is a insurable interest note. It's a huge note. It's not that much of huge, but to an extent, see, it's a insurable interest, but don't worry. But for now, just understand that there should be a insurable interest. Now you all may be wondering what's meant by insurable interest. That means, student, in a very simple term, right? In a very simple term, insurable interest means you have some, that means not you, the insured, right? Insured or the policy holder, right? Policy holder or assured, that means all three are referring to the same person, right? We can call insured as the policy holder, or we can call them as a assured also, right? All are same. They have to have some kind of relationship, right? They have to have some kind of relationship, right? They have to have some kind of relationship with the property that they are insuring, right? With the property that they are insuring. For an example, now I am insuring Sambhavi's house, right? I am entering into the insurance, right? I am entering into the insurance contract with the insurance company, let's say selling with them in insuring the Sambhavi's house. Not my house, but it's the Sambhavi's house. Actually, here I don't have any relationship with this house, no, because this is not my house. So if something happens to this house, it's the Sambhavi actually going to get suffer. Sambhav is the one who is going to get the loss, not Abhirami. Therefore, I can't put the insurance in the Siva Sambhavi's house. Why? Because I don't have any relationship with her property. So that's the understanding. So, but see, now I am insuring in my car. Yes, that can be done because if something happens to my car, that's Abhirami who would ultimately suffer the loss. Therefore, right? Therefore, I am having an insurable interest. So, insurable interest means the insured person, right? Um, right? The insured person, see, the insured person, right? Or the policy holder should have to have the adverse interest. Now you know what is interest. If something happens, that person should have to suffer the loss. These are the four elements that has been discussed by the canal justice in the Prudential Insurance Company versus IRC. Right? Now, right now I will go until this, and thereafter I will ask whether you understood whatever that I am taught you. Thereafter, right, thereafter we'll do the past paper question, right? We'll do the past paper question, right? We'll see who is giving a correct answer, right? What happened is, but however, this prudential company does not completely address the issue, right? Why? They says that here there was stated no, the payment should be made whoever lives. So they says that this particular case does not completely address the issue because they have just embodied the elements. They they doesn't make the difference between the contract which should be make the payment if a person leaves. Therefore, shortly thereafter, there was another case. That case name is Gold versus Kurdish case. What is the case name? It's the Gold versus Kurdish case, right? Gold versus Kurdish case. This case was actually fulfill or fill the gap in the case that we discussed above. So that means the Colt versus Kurdish case provide the clear understanding. So this case, Colt versus Curtis case, says that the fact of the Colt versus Curtis also same like a prudential case, right? You don't want to worry a lot. The fact of the Colt versus Curtis also very similar to the prudential case. So what the Colt versus Curtis case says is that case says actually there are two types of policy. When you are entering into the insurance, actually there are two types of policy. The first policy is indemnity policy. Second policy is contingency policy. So this Colt versus Curtis case says that actually there are two types of policies, right? There are two types of policies. The first type of policy is indemnity policy, and the second type of policy is contingency policy. There is a difference between the indemnity policy, and also there is a difference between the contingency policy as well. So now we have to understand what is meant by the indemnity policy. Now we have to understand what is meant by the indemnity policy. Indemnity policy means, students, in this type of policies, right? In this type of policies, insured, right? The one who purchased the insurance, not getting no more than indemnity for the loss which one actually suffers. This you have to understand very carefully, because there were questions in this regard. There are questions from the indemnity policy and contingency policy. You have to understand very clearly. Now I will put into very simply. So what is indemnity policy? What is indemnity policy? Indemnity policy means this is a kind of policy, and in this policy, the policy holder, right, insurer, cannot get the indemnity for the loss. Cannot get the indemnity. Indemnity of indemnity for the loss which he actually suffers. Actually suffers. Let's say, that means, students, let's say he made the insurance, right? He entered into the insurance, or he made the insurance with the 5 insurance company, or let's say with the 7 insurance company, right? 7 insurance company. Let's say, right? Sampavi enters into 7 in enter into insurance contract with the 7 insurance company, right? She, let's say, for one insurance company, she paid like 500,000. Likewise, for second insurance company also, she paid 500,000. Likewise, for all 7 insurance company, she made the same 500,000. Fourth company also same 500,000. For fifth also same 500,000. For sixth also same 500,000. For seventh also she made same 500,000. Now for house, for her car, let's say for her car. Now let's say that car was got some damages. Let's say that car was got some damages. Because of that, right, Sambhavi suffers 700,000. Sambhavi suffers 700,000. Now, so here it says no more than, see, cannot get indemnity for the loss which he or she actually suffers. Now, right, now Sambhavi cannot get 500,000 from this company, 500,000 from this company, likewise cannot get. So, because this indemnity policy principle says, right, this indemnity policy principle says, one person cannot get, right, indemnity for the loss which he didn't actually suffer. Here Sambhavi suffers only 700,000 loss, no. So she can recover 100,000, only 100,000 from this, 100,000 from this, and 100,000 from this, right? 100,000 from this, 100,000 from this, 100,000 from this, 100,000 from this, 100,000 from this. Likewise, so see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, 700,000 was recovered now. So this is what the indemnity policy says. So what indemnity policy says? One person cannot get insurance or indemnity more than the actual loss. So what he or she can get is, right, when there is any loss was happened, he can or she can get the indemnity for the loss, but that's very well equivalent to what? That is very equivalent to the actual loss that has suffered. This is what the indemnity policy means, right? So see, no more than indemnity for the loss which one actually suffers. In such policies, it is relevant to look at the prospectus of loss. That means we have to look how much she suffered. It's a 700,000. No, only that 700,000 can be recovered. Right? That's the indemnity policy. Now, let's go to contingency policy, right? So, contingency policy is not like a indemnity policy. It's different from the indemnity policy. So, the contingency policy is different from the indemnity policy. What contingency policy says is, in the contingency policy, what is the intention is that intention is the assured. Now you know who is assured. Assured, insured, policyholder, all these three terms means the same. So in the contingency policy, they will say the assured will receive the specific sum of money. So let's say it says let's say Abhirami would receive a sum of 500,000 if Abhirami dies. See, on the happening of a specific event. If Abhirami dies, she would be granted 500,000. There you can't see, you cannot see how much this person actually suffers. Likewise, because you have already agreed this is the specific sum of money you would get on the happening of this particular event. So at the time you will be granted that particular money. So basically life insurance policy would be counted under the contingency policy. So basically, life insurance policy comes under the contingency policy, right? Now, tell me whether you understood until this, or do you have any problem relating to this? If so, you may raise it now. Now I will share you the past paper within a few minutes. You have to give me the answer, right? It's not difficult. Try. In case if you unable to find the answer and everything, I will help you, right? Don't worry. But tell me whether you all understood. Uh, I would be happy if everyone gives the answer yes, understood, or not understood. Understood or not?
Understood, miss.
Thank you, Maneka. Others? Thank you, Sambhavi. Okay. I hope everyone understood. So now what I'm going to share you is a past paper, right? The very first day also we try to do the past paper. That's good. You have to, we have to check now whether our understanding and whether it's correct and everything. Therefore, it's good, right? Right. Give me a 1 minute. I will place the past paper so that you can try to give me an answer, right? Oh, sure. So we will do the past papers today, the very first day also. Don't worry if you couldn't understand or something, that's okay. Now, can you all find me the question that's relating to the insurance that we have just studied? There is a question, right? This is a October 2023 paper. Huh? Now, there are 7, 8, 9 likewise question. No, what you are supposed to do is you have to tell me what is the question that deals with insurance, and you have to tell me what is the answer for it. There is a question, right? So you can easily understand, I hope. We'll see who is giving an answer correctly, right? So students take a maximum output, right? So it's a very small crowd, therefore you can ask anything, no one going to be laugh, right? What is the number of question relating to the insurance and what is the answer for it? Can anyone give me the answer? I will give anyway 1 to 2 minutes, huh? Don't worry. Here you have to write straight answer. It's a theory question actually. Whether you have to tell me whether is it a seventh question, is it the eighth question, or is it the ninth question that deals with the insurance? That is the first question of mine. Second, you have to tell me if you identify the question relating to the insurance, then you have to tell me what is the answer for it. Right? I will tell you as to how you are supposed to write. Right?
Miss, question number 9 is from insurance.
Very good, Manika. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Question number 9 is actually from insurance. Very good. See, the very first class also you understood. So, this we didn't study, only A part we studied. So, I want the answer for the A part if you know. I hope you can actually give the answer because we have studied, no?
Indemnity policy means the insured cannot get more than uh, that he actually suffered.
Correct.
Contingency policy means that the insured receives a specific sum of money on the happening of some event, specified
Very good.
event.
Very good, Monica. And you have to substantiate that answer with a gold versus Kurdish case. Very good. So that's it. See, very easy question. So here you don't get not that much to write, but I will give the answer for it also. Don't worry. You in the last part of the paper also it's having some notes, but I will teach you that. Um, Right? Very good, Maneka. I hope everyone understood that. What you are supposed to write is this, right? You have to write this. So don't worry, I will give the answer. Huh? I mean, so after I finish the insurance subject, what I will do is I will take 5 years of past paper and I will do all the question relating to the insurance. Thereafter, we'll move to the next part. Likewise, I will do. So in that case, you can understand. See, Colt versus Kurdish case because this is a case which distinguishes between two types of policies. No, so you write this, you write until this. So very good, Maneka. Right? The answer is correct. And there is something called principle of indemnity. You have to bring this also, but don't worry. I didn't teach you, no, so you have to bring that also for that 8 marks question. Don't worry because I didn't teach it. So that's completely okay. What you have said is correct answer. Very good, Monica. Now, I will show you the another. It's a problem question. We'll see how you approach that question. Right? It's a problem question. Right? We'll see how you approach that question. Study from now onwards. You can't. I mean, if you study whatever that I teach you today, that's okay, right? I try to finish all the syllabus and everything before the last thing, because otherwise you would get collapse. I mean, if your exam is October 1st, if I correct, I will check the academic calendar and let you know. So before that, before September, I try to finish all 4 subjects. So tell me the answer for this question. We'll see who is that person who is giving a correct answer. You all, I mean, there is another one also, she got excused, and another 3 more said that they will join the class after June. And for the open university students, I think they will have the last exam on, I think it started. So they will finish the exam and they will join. For Jaffna and Peradeniya, they have wrote the exam last April, right? So others in the sense, so it's a October batch in the sense it's a, if you writing the exam in October, try even for April also. There's no difference between that, but try to get batch top as well. That's possible because comparing to the April, October is a crowdless batch, less crowd. That's fine. So this is an insurance question, students. Read and tell me the answer for 16 marks. See, Sarath. So there is a person called Sarath. He obtained a fire insurance policy. He obtained a fire insurance policy. One insurance policy is 500,000. So Sarath is a person. He has obtained a fire insurance policy, and each fire insurance policy is 500,000. That means one is 500,000, second is 500,000. Likewise, to indemnify himself against hospitalization expenses. To indemnify. Here, it's the indemnity policy that would apply, not the contingency. The question also gives the tips to indemnity. Shortly thereafter, Sarath met an accident and hospitalized. Okay. This also covered the hospitalized expenses. This also hospitalized for 2 days, and medical bill is 450,000. So what happens? There is a Sarath, and this Sarath has obtained the indemnity policy. And this indemnity policy, from how much? From fire insurance company. Insurance company. Right? Now what happened is, each one is 500,000. Right? That means total how much? It's a 25 lakhs. This is a total, no? Because 500,000 multiple into 5, right? So they says that, right? So he got accident and hospitalized. Medical bill says it's 450,000. This is the loss that he suffered. The loss that he suffered. Now tell me, can Sarath, right? Now tell me, can Sarath recover 450,000 from each insurance policy? That means they are asking whether the Sarath can get 450,000 from all 5 insurance policy. What is your answer?
No,
No,
he
miss.
cannot.
He can't. According to the indemnity policy, he can only recover from one insurance policy, 450,000 only.
Yes, correct, Manika. Correct, Sivasambhavi. Yes. He cannot actually obtain. Very good, both of you. You can't actually, I mean, not you. Sarath cannot actually recover 450,000 from each insurance policy. Why? Because indemnity policy says no more than actual loss that suffers. So you have to explain indemnity policy, and thereafter you have to bring that points into this question. That means you have to say indemnity policy means this. Thereafter you have to say that as per the indemnity policy, one person cannot recover no more than actual loss. Because of that, Sarah cannot recover 450,000 from each insurance policy. He can only get obtain 450,000 from all five. I mean, only 450,000 in a total, not more than that. Now, okay, that's okay. Now, that second question asks, would your answer be different? They are asking, is your answer would be different if Sarath medical bill amount to 25 lakhs? They are asking now. Earlier they says 4 lakhs and 50,000 no. Sorry, 400,000, 450,000 no. Now they are saying Sarath medical bill is amount to 25 lakhs. If so, whether your answer would be differ or not.
Yes, miss. Because he can recover from each insurance policy then, because 5 into 500,000, 2,500,000. The total is the total becomes 5 into 500 becomes 2,500,000. So he
Very
can
good,
recover
Mani.
from each insurance policy.
Yes, very good. You get 16 marks out of 16. Only they see how much the easy is. You have to understand the concept and then you have to apply it, right? If you listen to the class very carefully, I don't think that you have to go home and do a lot of work. You have to study anyhow. But see, easy, no? 16 out of 16. So this is like very easy, not difficult actually, right? So commercial law 1, even for other subject as well, if you understand concept and understand thing, that's very easy, right? So that's it, right? So what for B, what would be your answer? As Maneka says, correct. Her answer is correct because here Sarath medical bill is 25 lakhs now. So he needs to recover all 5 insurance policy, right? Here also you explain indemnity policy and you will bring the application part and you have to say yes, he can recover full amount. If so only he can balance his loss. He if he obtain 25 lakhs only, he can balance his loss since his loss also 25 lakhs. So I'm giving a simple tax. See, this 200 and like this, right? 2,500,000 should be equivalent to the indemnity policy. Only this, right? Hope everyone understood the concept very clearly. So now, very good Maneka, very good Sampavi, right? Very good. See, 16 marks out of 16. It's not difficult, right? So now what you are supposed to do is, I will cover the other certain area. And when I'm covering, I will do the questions as well. So in that case, you can actually be very clear, and when you go home do the papers as well, right? Do papers, and if you have extra questions you can ask me. That's okay, right? So what is very important is you have to study. If I can, I will cover until the insurable interest, because in insurable interest also there is a question. So in that case I can show you that question and I can ask it. Also, right? When I'm ending the class, I will show you the answer that I have prepared for some questions. I will give it to you, right? Okay. Now there are certain case laws. One case is actually Department of Trade and Industry versus St. Christopher Motorist Association Limited. So there is a case called like this. Now, uh, s- uh, now I am going to explain you this case, the fact and the judgment. You have to say, right? Now I am going to explain you this fact and the judgment. You have to say under what aspects this case is connected. Previously, I discussed or I taught you one point. You have to tell me at which point this case is connected, right? We'll see who is giving it. So there is a case called Department of Trade and Industry versus St. Christopher Motorist Association. What happened in this case is the defendant company, that means St. Christopher Motorist Association. St. Christopher Motorist Association provided that, right, if the insured, right, they says that insured, if you are disqualified from driving. So insured was basically a driver, right? Insured was basically a driver, right? Insurance company says, right? Insurance company says, if you are disqualified from driving, don't worry, we will hire a driver for you. We will hire a driver for you. Likewise, driver for you. Right? That's how they stated. So understand, students, here you can see the word chayufer. No, chayufer means it's the other name for the driver, right? Chayufa means it's the driver, right? Driver. So the defendant company provide for the hire of Chayufa. So the defendant company says, okay, we will hire a driver if you means insure. If you are disqualified from the driving. They says, okay, if you are disqualified from the driving, that's okay. We will provide the hire of the we will arrange a driver to hire, right? So court held that contract of insurance contract are not confined to the payment of money, but they can include the some benefit. Did we discuss this point? If so, at what time we have discussed? If someone can say, can say. So my question is, are we discuss this point? Means contract of insurance does not only confine to the payment of money, but it may include the certain other benefit as well. Did we discuss this? If so, at what aspect we have discussed it?
Yes, Miss, under the Prudential Insurance Company, Justice Channel said a contract of insurance must have 4 elements. Under that, number B, it says insurer undertakes to confer some benefit, which is usually but not necessarily to pay a sum of money on the happening of an event.
Very good, Manika. Very good, right? Very good. Excellent, right? So that's the correct answer. Yes, we have discussed when I'm discussing the concept of insurance. I have explained you very good, Manika, right? I have explained you if it is a insurance, right, that has to have 4 elements. Second element is actually B. Yes, second element is the insurance company can say, okay, we will give a payment of some money, but that's not necessarily to be money. Certain other benefit also can be granted. So this is also actually a insurance. So here the insurance company says to the insurer, okay, you are a driver, we know that if you are actually become disqualified from driving, if you become disqualified from driving, that's okay, we will give a driver to we will hire a driver. So this court held that yes, this is a contract of insurance. Contract of insurance not only confined to the payment of money, it may include the contract for some benefit as well, right? So that's the thing. Very good, huh? Okay. Now, digital. So this part actually you don't need to buy heart, huh? This part. Sorry. This ratio decidenty part. You don't want to just read through. What I have explained is there, right? So thereafter, there is a case called Digital Data Warranty versus Financial Services Authority. So what happened in this case is, if you read this point, you can't understand. I will explain very simply. Thereafter, we will read it out. Okay. So now, in this company, right? In this company, or in this case, what happened is that there is a actually appellant company, right? Here there is a appellant, right? Here the appellant, right? Here the appellant was a company, right? Here the appellant was a company. they they gave the guarantees, right? They gave the guarantees, or we can call it as a warranties as well. They will give the warranties for consumer electrical goods, for consumer electrical, right? Electrical goods. So the spelling mistake, huh? Electrical goods, right? Electrical goods. So there is a appellant. Now appellant is a company. Now that company actually gave a warranty for the consumer electrical goods. They says that, right? Uh, that means warranties means, in the warranty they have said that if your electrical goods means like kettle, iron box, likewise, right? If your electrical goods got damages, we will do the repair. We will do the repair or replacement. We will provide the repair or replacement, but, but we are not providing the money. They says that if their company, no, they says that we will provide the warranties to your consumer electrical goods. In case if your consumer electrical goods are not working correctly, we will do the repair or we will do the replacement, but we will not provide the money. Likewise, the apparent company says that. So now, if so insurance means what? Insurance means insurance includes the confinement of certain other benefits also. It does not necessarily mean it can only make the payment. It includes certain other benefits also, no? So now it's a insurance. So now if it is a insurance, the local or country of that law requires that it has to be registered. They says it has to be registered, and it has to be registered. But Apple and company didn't register their company. They argue that this is not an insurance because we are not paying a money. We are just doing the repair or replacement of the goods only. Therefore, this is not an insurance. That's how the appellant argued, right? So now I'm posting a question for all of you. Now tell me, whether it is an insurance or not. What do you think? Based on what we are discussing, I think you can give me the answer. Even though it's wrong, I'm not going to, I mean, offend you, right? So what is happen is there is a appellant. Now the appellant is a company. Now that company actually gives the warranty for consumer electrical goods, right? They have said that if your electrical goods are not going to work properly, we are going to do the repair, or we are going to do the replacement, but we are not going to provide you the money. Now appellant says that this is not an insurance, because insurance only means that the payment of the money should be there. Here, since there is a no payment of money, but there are certain other benefit was confined, it's not an insurance. Now what do you think, whether it's an insurance or not?
It's an insurance because it should not always be money. Uh, it can be some benefit.
Very good, Maneka. Yes. Yes, very good, right? This is how the court also says, right? So now you know, if it is an insurance, the local law of that country says it should be registered. Now the appellant didn't register, no. Therefore, what they did is, right, court, that means court was order that appellant company should have to be dissolved. Appellant company should dissolved. Don't worry, dissolved mean very simply close the company, right? It has a very legal meaning, but for now understand, close the company, right? Court says that it's actually the insurance. So now we will read the case. The appellant challenged an order for the dissolution of their company, because in a ordinary court, that means first instance court also order dissolution of the company under this act, right? This fact actually doesn't has so much of explanation, as I have said. If you want, you can take screenshot of it, right? So I mean, but in the exam you can't write every points now, because you have to be very careful with your time limit also, right? Don't worry, I will train you, right? So this appellant company provide the warranties for the consumer electrical goods, which amounted to insurance, but said that they were not required under the act, since only service in kind were provided. So this is the argument of the appellant, but court held that the appeal was failed. That means appellant argument was not correct. These were the contract of insurance, and the appellants were not registered. Therefore, the company should be dissolved. Students, tell me whether you all understood these things until this point. Clear? Everything clear?
Yes, clear.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sambhavi. Thank you, Maneka. Piyumi understood? Sofani understood? Or do you have doubts? If you have, please ask me, right? I
It's
will
clear.
be. Thank you, Piyumi. I will explain more time, right? That's not a problem. Sofani understood? Okay. Right? So I hope everyone understood. Now we will move to the insurable interest. Right? Again, students, here also there will be a question based on the insurable interest. Right? Again, one of the questionable area. Right? Don't skip. I will say don't choose and study. Huh? We can't predict the paper. If you choose and study, and if you go to the exam, and when you see the paper, if the question is not there, you will get mini heart attack. You can't do the question as you prepared also. That's usual, even for me also, right? So therefore, don't skip the part. If you started study from today onwards, I think you can cover entire thing. Insurable interest. Yes, Sobani.
Understood, madam.
Okay,
I
Sobani. I
understood,
think
madam.
yes, Sobani. I think you have coverage issue. Yes, you will be hearing us little late. Okay, that's okay. I will share you the recording also. Right. Insurable interest, right? Let's understand regarding the insurable interest. Right? Again, like insurance, here also there is no statutory definition of the term. There is no statutes which actually define a insurable interest. There is no statute which actually defines the term insurable interest. Again, so we know when there is a statute which do not provide the definition of the term, we have to look into the case law in order to find the definition. Here also again we need to refer to the case law. What is the case law? That is Lucina versus Crayford. Right? Lucina versus Crayford is a case that we need to understand. Right? So what happened in the Lucina versus Crayford? Now you know, as I just explain, insurable interest means what? Based on the, it's a relationship. You have to have some kind of relationship to insure. That's a simple idea. Now we are going to understand, because sometimes there is a 8-mark question that came from insurable interest. You have to write this. You have to first say the term insurable interest do not have any statutory definition. Therefore, we have to refer to the case law to find the definition. Right? So, in this regard, this Lucina case, you can remember it as a loose case. See, in Tamil, I think Maneka is a Sinhala speaking person. In Tamil, Maneka, we are calling mental person as a lusu. Right? So, you can remember like that, right? Lucina versus Crayford case is actually defined. So, or else it says it provides a clear picture as to what is meant by the insurable interest, right? What is meant by the insurable interest, right? Now you know who is a assured. Assured, insured students before studying, right? When you started to study, go and make a note like this: insured or assured or policy holder are the same person, and you can put a small note also. The person who purchase insurance, because you can remember now very clearly, but when it's close to the exam after 2 to 3 months you can't. That's a human nature, but put the small note and study today onwards, right? So the insured was the commissioner of admiralty. So who is the insured person or who is the policy holder? That is the commissioner of admiralty. His duty is as per the statute, right? Or under the statute or as per the statute, his duty is to take care of the Dutch vessels and cargoes. So what is his duty here? Insured doing a job. What is his job? His job is Commissioner of Admiralty. What is the duty of Commissioner of Admiralty? That is to take care of the Dutch vessels and the cargoes. That is to take care of the Dutch vessels and the cargoes which has been brought to United Kingdom. So basically what would happen is certain vessels from Dutch or Roman Dutch would brought into United Kingdom. After, listen carefully, after brought into the Dutch or after brought into the Dutch vessels and cargo into United Kingdom. So after brought into the United Kingdom only, this Commissioner of Admiralty having the powers or having the relationship with those vessels and the cargoes. Thereafter only he needs to take care. Right? Now he, Commissioner of Admiralty, was insured these vessels and the cargoes. Right? So commissioners insured these ships and cargoes. What happens is these ships were lost during the voyage. Voyage means ship is traveling to the United Kingdom, but before reaching to the United Kingdom, the ships got lost. The ships were lost, right? What happened is ships were lost. Now the commissioner, right, says that I want the insurance. Why? Now I'm having a insurable interest. I'm having a insurance. But insurer, now you know what, who is an insurer? It's an insurance company. No, insurance company says the commissioner has no insurable interest. That means what? The commissioner has no relationship with those ships and the goods. Why? Because these ships were lost before it brought into the United Kingdom. No? So that's how the insurer argued. Now the court held that, see, the House of Lords held that, right, insurer's defense was right, right? Whatever argued by the insurer's defense is correct, because commissioner's duty was commenced to take care of the ships only after their arrival. No, so they can take care of the ships after the ship was arrived into the United Kingdom. No, however, in this situation, the ships not yet arrived into the not the ships has not arrived into the England, no, at the time of loss. Therefore, the commissioner do not have the insurable interest. So they says that no insurable interest, because no relationship, no, his relationship would begin after the ships are brought into England. After the ships are brought into England, or after the ships are arrived into the England. So here, before the ships are arrived into the England, the ship got lost. Therefore, commissioner do not have any insurable interest. So this is what insurable interest means. Very simply, see, if it is a tangible property, the policy holder, that means insured, should have to have some kind of legal or equitable relationship to the property at risk. That means if you are going to insure your house, you have some kind of legal or equitable relationship. No, so insurable interest means you have to have some kind of legal relationship. Legal relationship means what? You should be the owner of it. You should be the owner of that house. You should be the owner of that car. You should have to have some kind of legal relationship of it. So this legal or equitable relationship is what we call as an insurable interest. So how we identify the insurable interest is always a question of fact. So that means what, students? We will go through the fact and circumstances, and we will see whether this person has some kind of legal or equitable relationship. If that person has some kind of legal or equitable relationship, we will say, okay, there is a insurable interest. So courts right? So I am going to introduce one more term, right? It's not a difficult, it's a easy. Premiums. So what do you mean by premium? What do you mean by a premium? So premium means, students, let's say Sofani got the insurance for 10 lakhs, right? So now she can't pay 10 lakhs as a one point. So what she would do is, she says, okay, I will pay 1 lakhs, sorry, 1 lakhs for 10 times, right? So this amount she paying in no, so this is what we call as a premiums. So we can call as a premium the amount that he paid. So courts generally says, right? So court generally says, right, after collecting a premium, now insurance company collect this 1 lakhs from the Sofani, right? After that, insurer company says that we can't give this premium because Sofani do not have any insurable interest. Let's say Sofani made the insurance of the Maneka's house. Actually, Sofani do not have any relationship with the Maneka's house, no. Now, but in she paid 1 lakhs also. Now the insurer would say, we will deny that we can't pay your premium back because you do not have any insurable interest. There is a lack of insurable interest. This is a previous position, students, but understand now, understanding only this is sufficient. I will explain you the current position uh, little time later, right? So, but now the position is changed. But don't worry, when you have been asked the question relating to the insurable interest, you have to bring, there is no statutory definition. We have to refer to case. Thereafter, you have to bring Lucina versus Crayford case. Thereafter, you have to bring this 3 point. Only that is expected, right? Also, you have to bring this, right? So I will explain that. But before that, there are two more other cases. So students, what I want to say is, what your examiner would expect is, if there is a question under the insurable interest, Lucina versus Crayford, if you refer to one case, that's sufficient, that's okay. But there are two more case laws as well. If you wish or if you remember these cases, you can refer to. Otherwise, only referring to one case, that would be okay, no issue, right? But anyhow, I will explain this case also, but very simply, right? So you don't need to by heart the facts as it is. You can remember as you understand the facts. No issue, right? What happened in the Amdoni John Sharp versus Pear truck cases, right? So insurance was taken out for the motor yacht Moonrage, right? Now you may be worrying, right? You may be worrying what is meant by the, right? What is meant by the motor yacht Moonrage, right? Don't worry, I will show you the picture. So in that sense, you can actually understand, right? You can understand. Wait, I will show you the picture, otherwise you will think what is that, right, guys? Right? Give me a minute, I will show you. This is a yacht, right? So this is what refer to your, I mean, if you show your the picture, then actually you can understand what is yacht means, right? This is a thing. This, right? This is a thing, right? This, right? So I hope now you understood what is that, right? Now I will, right, explain you very simply. I'm not going to read each and every point as it is because otherwise it's difficult for you to understand. I will explain you very simply. Now what happened is that there is a person called Mr. Shah, right? There is a person called Mr. Shah, right? There is a person called Mr. Shah. Now he actually, right, he owns the yacht. Now you know what is the yacht, right? Now you know what is yacht, right? So, but actually what happened is, if you have such a huge motor yacht, you have to pay the tax, no? So for the tax pay purposes, there is a company called Rorer Investment, right? There is a company called Rorer Investment. They says that, okay, the register this particular yacht in our name. So basically there is a person called Shah. He's the owner of yacht, right? But there is a company called Rorer Investment. They says that please register that particular yacht in our name, right? Register the yacht in our name. So Mr. Shah also registered it. Thereafter, what the company did is, company gave the power of attorney. I hope you know what is power of attorney, but don't worry. Power of attorney means, students, there there can be sometimes principal and agent. No, principal can give us some powers to the another person to do certain activity on his or her behalf. Let's say now tomorrow, let's say for an example, tomorrow I would be little late to start the class for the exam. Huh? So it's, let's say it would become as a 3:05 or 3:10. So I will give my authority to Maneka saying that, Maneka, you can actually start the class. So I gave the authority to Maneka. No, so Maneka would become as the power of attorney. So that's what power of attorney means. So now this company also gave the power of attorney to the Shah, right? So now this Shah, right, can actually manage the vessel, right? So now after that they took the insurance policy, right? He was actually, that means Shah was taken the insurance policy, and also after that what happened is the yacht got fire, right? Suddenly the yacht got the fire and was destroyed, right? So caught fire, and there was a total loss was happened. Now the insurance company argues that, now assured, you know who is assured? Assured is a Sharp, because Sharp is the one who made the insurance. Now Sharp says that here there was a fire accident was happened. Therefore, this particular yacht got fire. Therefore, I want the money. But insurer says, right? Insurance means it's a company says that no, we can't give the any money to you because you don't have any insurable interest, right? But what happens is court says that Sharp has the insurable interest. Why Sharp has the insurable interest? This is the reason, right? Why? Because, right? Because he is a legal owner. He's a legal owner. But what happened is that he's the owner, but he just register in another person's name, or register it in the company's name. Also, he's the one who control the yacht, manage the yacht, and if some if some loss was happened, it would he that ultimately suffers the loss as well. As a result, court held that yes, of course, there is a insurable interest, right? This is the basic thing. So what happens in this particular case? Very simple. Very simple. Huh? So there is a person called Sharp. He was the owner of the yacht. Now thereafter, for the tax purpose, he just registered that into the Rorer Investments Company's name. Now the company gave him the power of attorney. Now he is the one who manage it, who control it, and everything was done by Mr. Shah. Now he obtained the insurance policy as well. So after obtaining the insurance policy, suddenly this yacht got the fire. Now the sharp goes in front of the court and says that, see, I want the insurance money. Now insurer company says that no, we can't give it because you do not have any insurable interest. Court held that this person actually has the insurable interest. Why? Because, right, he's the owner. Also, he's the one who managed this vessel or this yacht got certain damages. Okay, because of that damage also he would suffer the loss. Therefore, he has some kind of legal or equitable relationship with the vessel. Therefore, have to pay to that person. This person has the insurable interest. This is the fact of the Amdone case. Now, this is the next case, right? Under the insurable interest, we studied three cases: Lucina versus Crayford case, Monterey case, and thereafter National Oil Well case. What happened in the National Oil Well case is that, right? Right? Now here the insured. Now you know who is the insured. Insured means the one who purchased the insurance money is the insured. Now that insured was not in a possession of property, right? That means, let's say insured has a car. Now that car is him no. Now he is not in a possession of that car. He has given the hire to someone else. But if some damages happens to car, the insured will suffer no, because it's his car no. So likewise in this case also there is a insured, but this insured was not in the possession of the property. But if something happens to that property, he is the one who would inquire the liability. So therefore, right, court held that since here also he is actually suffering a loss, even though the possession was not in hand, right? In hand, here also he has the insurable interest. But here I will simplify the fact and I will give it to you. It would be easy for you, right? NOW means it's referred to the National Oil Well Limited, right? National Oil Well, right? Supplied, right? Supplied certain equipment. You know what is equipment? Equipment means it's like a some kind of instruments. Equipment to this Devi, right? Now, after delivering the equipment, right? After delivering the equipment, right? After delivering the equipment, right? Now this Devi claimed that, right? Devi claimed that these were defective. These equipments were defective. They says that this was actually defective, right? Now, actually this NOW, that means National Oil Well, actually got the insurance also. Got the insurance also, right? Got the insurance also. Got the insurance on the equipment. But now Devi says, actually you can't you don't own it anymore. So you don't have any insurable interest. Likewise, they argued. Who? Devi argued. But what the court held is that still this National Oilway Limited has the insurable interest, even though they didn't owe it. Because why? Because if there is any damages happens, who is still legally responsible? It's the National Oil Well Limited, no? If something happens, so therefore they had the insurable interest. So that's what they have stated, right? So that is the basic thing that you have to understand under the insurable interest. This also, again, students, it also comes as a one question. The consequences of the lack of insurable interest also very important. Now I will explain you. After that, we will do one more past paper. I think we have tried two past papers today. One more past paper, right? So what would be the consequences of the lack of insurable interest? What would be the lack of insurable interest? That means what would happen if you obtain an insurance without the insurable interest? That means your insurance policy would be considered as a null and void. It's void. Now you can't make any claims under that. You can't make a claim. However, it doesn't mean that that doesn't written. It still can be written, but it has no validity. It's null and void, and no claim can be made there under. Right? So, however, if you receives any payment, or if you place such policy or effect the policy, that neither, see, that are not considered as a criminal offense. Why? It's not a criminal offense, but again, it is a null and void. You know, the criminal offense and the illegality is something different, right? But still it's a illegal invalid, no? Therefore court won't assist. So let's say, now I'm going to give an example. Now let's imagine that Maneka, right? Maneka purchase insurance for a building that was actually owned by the Sambhavi. That was actually owned by the Sambhavi, right? The building is owned by the Sambhavi. Maneka got the insurance. But let's say Sambhavi is not in a country, she went to foreign. Now Maneka was actually, what Maneka doing is, Maneka actually lives in that house and everything, but Maneka was actually giving the insurance also. So he made the monthly payment, sorry, she makes the monthly payment. But what happened is that building got fired. That house got fired. Now Maneka goes to insurance company and asking that, see, I want the money because this house got fired. What would be the result? So insurance company would say, you have no insurable interest. Since it has no insurable interest, you effect the policy without the insurable interest. Therefore, it is null and void. Right? So, also, court won't give the assistance in this regard. Right? Court won't help you in recovering that money because they would say you don't have any insurable interest, therefore we are not going to help you. Likewise, they would see, they would tell. So tell me, students, whether you would understand until this or not. One more minute, I will explain this as well. So let's say here there is a lack of insurable interest. No, now let's say that means the insurer, that means the company doesn't raise the illegality. In that case, court still has the duty, and court has to say, no, you can't pay for it because here there is a illegality. Illegality is a matter of public policy, therefore you can't make the payment. Likewise, have to say this is the lack of insurable interest. Now, tell me whether you understood until this or not. Everyone clear or having some kind of doubts? We will do one more past paper, right? Only one more.
Miss, can you repeat the last one?
Yes, ma'am, Maneka, sure. So what it says is, right? So now let's say, right? Now let's take the same example, Maneka, right? Maneka made the insurance, got the insurance policy for Sampavi's house. For the Sampavi's house. So here clearly know this there's a spelling mistake. Sambhavi's house. Now actually Maneka cannot do that because Maneka do not have the insurable interest. That Let's say Selinco is a right? Selinco is a insurance company. Now Selinco insurance company, what they have to tell is, they have to say, no, we can't give you a money because you don't have any insurable interest. Likewise, Selinco insurance company have to tell no. Now what happens is, Selinco insurance company does not say like that. Doesn't say like that. Now they are about to give. But in that sense, court has the duty. Here, this is the insurer, Here, Selingo Insurance Company is the insurer. Now, court has to say that. What court has to say? Court has to say that, no, actually, this is an illegal one. Illegal one. Therefore, you can't get the payment. Likewise, they have to tell you, even though this insurer do not object to it. See, if the issuer of the policy, that means it's an insurer, does not raise illegality in an action. So selling court doesn't say that, Maneka, you don't have any insurance, you don't have any insurable interest, therefore we are not going to give it. Likewise, this issuer do not saying it. Even though issuer do not saying it, it is the duty of the court to do so. The court has to do the issuer's part. So, because it's a illegal and it's a matter of public policy. Understood?
Yes, Miss, got it. Thank you, Miss.
Okay, Maneka. Any other doubts or is it clear? Shall we do one more past paper? Everyone clear, right? Thank you, Sambal. Okay. Now we will do one more past papers, right? It won't take too much of time, right? Uh, I will do it. Right? So practice with a past paper. Simply your agency insurance partnership questions won't change because previous time also it was done by Mr. Chanakadi Silva sir. This time also that would done by the same lecturer. Therefore, there is no any change to agency insurance partnership. But of course, for company, there would be a change. So before the end of this month, I thought of covering agency and insurance. So in that case, you would be within this month, you will be you actually you will be eligible to do 3 questions, right? So in your final paper, because in agency there will be a 2 question, in insurance there will be a 1 question. So you can do almost 3 questions in the end of this month, right? Now I'm going to show you a paper, right? So tell me what is you all can understand now what is insurance. So it is the 9th question that's related to the insurable interest. So what will you write? For the A part, 8 marks, as I said. For B part, again 8 marks. What would you write? First question asks, what is an insurable interest? Second question asks, what are the consequences of the lack of insurable interest? So what are the points that you would make sure or make use of it? Students, you are welcome to give answer. What is an insurable interest? What are the consequences of the lack of insurable interest? What you are supposed to write?
Firstly, we have to say there's no statutory definition to the term insurable interest. Thus, we have to refer to case law. Then, Lucina case,
Right.
what was held in that case. Then, should write there must be some legal or equitable relationship to the property insured. Uh, mm,
Yes, Manika, correct. The answer is correct. Very good. Right? So, can you try the B part as well? What are the consequences of the lack of insurable interest? Students, for the B part, what would be the answer?
Policies without insurable interest are considered as null and void.
Correct.
No claim can be made as well. But you can write, the policy can be in written form.
Correct. Yes, Monica, the answer is correct, right? One more point that you have to add. If the court won't assist that particular thing, I think you know that, right? And only that, right? So I will show you the answer that what is expected, right? For insurance and agency students, you don't want to worry a lot because the answer is in the tute itself. So that's why I didn't make any modification or something, because you have to be very strictly abide with the law college notes, right? That's why I gave thing, but I will give a, when it comes to the company, he's still not started a huge parts. So I will give you, right? So what is insurable interest? You have said correctly. You have to say first there is no statutory definition. Thereafter you can bring Lucina versus Crayford. Fact and judgment also you have to bring. Thereafter you have to say in relation to tangible property, the policyholder has some legal equitable relationship. This legal or equitable relationship is what we called as an insurable interest. This is what we ascertain by the question of facts, and the courts generally lead. These points you have to bring. For bringing all this and Lucina Crayford with the fact and judgment, you will be awarded 8 marks out of 8, right? So the consequences of the lack of insurable interest: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point is there. You have to bring all these 6 points in order to get 8 marks, right? You can elaborate further. That means you don't want to write a lot. You have to say when there is a insurable interest is lacking the insurable interest, that would be considered null and void. Likewise, you can write. That's okay. See, insurance is a very easy area, students. So that's why I was urging you to study insurance very clearly. That's why I started with the insurance, because when I started with the insurance, you can actually uh, get a good marks, right? So now I'm going to share you the this part, right? So don't worry, I will finish within 5 minutes. Huh? So this is a question that we done for the April 2024. I have a PDF also, right? The Sarat case 450,000 and 220. It's a part, B part. This is the answer, right? I will share with you. And I wanted to tell this as well. In the end of May, right? In the end of May or in the middle of June, I will tell you, I will have the exam only in the part of agency and insurance, right? So you have to be study and come. It's a closed book exam. I mean, not physically by way of online, but you should be very frank, or you should be very genuine to me. You don't want to see the book or notes. You have to study and you have to answer and you have to send me the answer. I will correct and I will share with you all. I will tell you when is the exam. In that case, if you are really study and come, and if you, without referring to the book or notes, if you write the answer, then for the exam, you can directly go and write the exam. It's not a big deal. I think for my last batch also, I kept for commercial law one, it's a two test or one test. I couldn't remember. For commercial law two also, one test or two test, right? I did, I think commercial law two, one test, right? Because I have started the class for them little later. In a January only I have started for, they were with me like 4 months. That means in April they have certain these things. But they wrote the exam. They said, okay, still they are writing the exam now. That's their my first batch, you all are my second batch, right? But understand that, study very carefully. I thought of doing a lot of exams, but what you are supposed to do is, you don't want to look the tunes. If you doing the exam looking or referring to the exam, there is no point, no students. It's actually make bad for you, not for me. So therefore, I believe all of you won't see the paper. For my last batch, there was a person who got only 3 marks out of 50. So I was very proud of him or her, because he or she didn't refer to any notes, right? That's genuineness should be there. But for, that's for first exam. But for when doing the second exam, I think that for out of 50, he or she got 40 marks or something. So likewise, you can increase when you are doing the paper. But when you are not studying, you have to frankly tell me, I'm not studying. Likewise, right? If study and come, this is a insurance, this is a question and answer type. I will share with you after uh, the next class, right? After the next class of the insurance, right? Because I didn't teach you this, therefore I'm not going to share you this now, because you will get confusion. This is with regards to uberima fide and subrogation. um, we will study the tuberima fide and subrogation in the next class. With that, we can finish the insurance. Insurance is not that much of bulk, you know, it's only 12 page, but marks is 16 marks. You can study, right? So this is what I have to do in today's class. We will start and finish the rest of part in the next class. But tell me, students, tomorrow I will have the commercial law 2, right? I will have commercial law 2, and I wanted to finalize the time as well for this batch. That means for the first set of people, there are 3 set that they will join in October. Sorry, not October, in the next month, June. So, and some of them are facing the exam, means exam in the state or private, the in their institution or universities. So they will join thereafter. But it's my, since you all are joined very first, it's very good. You have to join very firstly. But what I'm going to ask is, uh, all of you, if possible, send me the private message demonstrating the best time for you. That means not the work time, because I'm working in an open university. The working hour is 8 to 4. Even though it's 4, I come to the home right after 6, right? So tell me the time, because I have to do 4 subjects. Therefore, tell me the time frame that suits you. So this is the thing that I have to teach you today. Go home, study only 5 pages. No, today we have covered only 5 pages, right? And in the 6th page, only the bottom, only 1 point, only that you have to study. And um, do the past paper that I have showed you, right? So there are a lot of past papers that you can do, because in the insurable interest, October 2024 insurable interest question came, right? So April 2020-23 also insurable interest question came. October 2022 also insurable interest question came, right? Likewise, insurable interest question was there in October 2019 also. There are a lot of papers in which the insurable interest question came, right? So you can try that, because we studied insurable interest. Only this is the thing that I have to tell to you, and we will continue the other parts of insurance in the next class. Also, I will be doing commercial law too on tomorrow. So this is a very first class for you all with me. And did you understand what I taught you, or do you want some other methods to be used in explaining the area, or is today's lesson is okay? It's good. Students, is it good, or I want to add certain other parts as well?
It's good, miss.
Thank you, Maneka.
Yeah, it's good, miss.
Thank you, Sambhavi. So, so this is a thing, right? So join in the live class. So that's good, because when you are listening to the recording, you will listen to, not you, even if I was in that situation, I will listen that 2 hour recording for one day, no? So that's waste of time for you. I mean, you can study, no? So don't prepare the notes and have it and until the last moment to study from now, right? Study from now, because studying is what very important, right? In the last minute you may feel difficulties in studying, even for me also, right? So that's it, students. So we will meet tomorrow for commercial law 2. Until then, say stay safe, right? I'm having oaths on 15th. If someone is there in Colombo, you are most welcome to come to the oath ceremony. It's 15th at 11 o'clock, right?
Thank you so much, miss.
Okay,
Thank you,
Manika.
miss.
Okay,
Thank you, madam.
Sambhavi. Okay, so Pani. So bye. I'm very happy that today's class discussion was very useful, and there was a lot of students discussions with me. I'm expecting like this, right? So uh, feel free to talk with me, and feel free to clarify the doubts, and feel free to tell your answers, right? That's good for you when you are answering the questions paper in your exam hall, right? So we'll meet tomorrow, students. Bye. I will share the link and also note in today's night, right? So then, bye, students. Stay safe. Bye.